Hi everyone, I'm Kerry Hopkins, and with me is my amazing client, the Muddy Archaeologist and Historian Gillian Hovell. Gillian, thanks for talking to me today.
My pleasure. It's good to be here.
So, Gillian is one of my clients. She's on the Level Up Broadcast Coaching and Consulting Program at the Broadcasters Academy. Now, Gillian's been working with me since mid-January, so only a few months, mid-January 2021, predominantly. Now, Gillian, you've already had success on the program. You've been on radio twice already, and we're only in April. Tell me, how did it, in terms of what you're learning, how did it feel getting yourself, picking the phone up and getting yourself on air? Was it scary? Was it okay?
Yeah, well, that's where you've really helped because although I'm ex BBC and that was a long time ago, and I have been on the radio before, I actually didn't know how to approach them. I didn't know how to pick that phone up. I didn't know what kind of things to say. I didn't know what sounded right to sound professional, as opposed to slightly perhaps desperate or throwing a hook into the ocean. So you've really helped me to be able to use the right words, be able to find the right contacts, and that enabled me to make a good first impression, I think, on the radio when I contacted them.
Yeah.
Mm.
And tell me, before you came on this program, did you try to get yourself on air before, but it didn't work? Or how did it go before you started?
Yeah, I mean, I'd done a few sort of when my first book came out, and that was easy because I had something that was a particular event to do.
Yeah.
But then, as a wanting to get onto the radio and TV more as a more regular thing, I wasn't sure how to actually go about just generally eh, as a regular thing to do it. So the course has really helped in that I now feel more confident in that I know what my target is, I know what I'm doing, and yeah, that's the course that's helped me really.
Yeah. So, okay, so it's great that you're getting traction and you feel comfortable doing it yourself because some people hire a PR person to do it, although a lot of PR people, which is why I also train PRs, don't really know how to get the clients on TV and radio regularly. So, tell me, when you did the BBC radio interview, how did that go? How was it? How did it feel doing it? Was it exciting?
Yeah, it's very nerve-wracking picking up the phone first time because you don't know how it's going to go. You don't know whether they're going to be too rushed to speak to you, etc., etc. But I'm beginning to feel it's more normal. Even after
Brilliant.
two, I can remember when I first did public speaking, and my knees would be shaking on the first ones and all of that, and wondering how it went. And over time, it becomes what you do. It's just part of what you do. And already after two, although I wouldn't say it feels normal yet, it does feel like it's something that I will be able to say, it's just another string to my, it's just another part of my work. I am a freelance, I work alone, I don't have PR, I don't have marketing, it's all me. That's quite a heavy onus to take when actually you're an academic and that's your skill. Ancient history is my skill, not PR. So that's why I've turned to you to help me to actually understand not the world of PR, but that conversation to have. And I feel much happier because I've got the right kind of things to say. And I feel like they're normal people at the other end as well now.
Yeah, so it's
To
sort of
speak it
normalizable
through.
rather than making it scary and fearful.
Yes, I mean, it's still scary, and I have to admit that when the radio was on, they were playing music just before, and I deliberately tuned in so that, the upbeat music, I was just, letting the adrenaline flow by the time you're on. So, little tricks to just get myself in the mood for it, get myself tied in with them, needing that boost to do it. But, hey, that's what I do on talks as well, so maybe that's normal too. I don't know what's normal yet. It's early days, as you
I
say.
mean, really, Gillian, you are top of your game, and you're also brilliant on camera. I've Gillian's got her own online course. If anyone is really interested in history, archaeology, Roman history, all different kind of histories, Vikings, Gillian's got an online course, so you can actually buy videos of Gillian, explaining these things, which makes quite a nice gift actually. But I really think, Gillian, we're going to be seeing you on TV and radio a lot more this year, next year. And as you know, I did also point you in the direction of an agent, and she really loved you as well. I've spoken to another executive producer about you, Ron Carroll. He says he thinks you're brilliant. I mean, you really have got all the skills to be a TV presenter, actually, in your field of
That's
expertise.
something I would very much like to aspire to. I worked behind the camera decades ago, and now I feel very ready and keen to actually share through the medium of screen and through TV. As I say, as something else that I do for the sharing of ancient history. It is one of the aspirations. So thank you for the kind words.
You're welcome. And that's the good thing, you see. When I was listening to your first interview on radio, the first one with me, I could just really hear the passion coming through, and that's what makes a good expert. So a lot of people, they've got the knowledge, but they don't have the intonation. They don't maybe use the right words. It's not coming through the energy on the interviews, and it can sound a bit monotone, but that wasn't the case with you at all. You could tell that you were really passionate about the work that you do, and I'm sure it is really interesting being an archaeologist anyway. But that really came through, and I could even tell that the first interview that I listened to, the presenter was just fascinated by the way you're explaining things from hundreds of years ago to today. So tell me, how did the second interview go that you did the other day? That was supposed to be 4 minutes long, was it?
Yes, it was. Well, they said to me, they spoke to me before, and in fact, they contacted me on the back of the first one, I think. It was a different local radio, but clearly they'd gone, oh, well, this is okay. And they said, we'll have 4 minutes or thereabouts. So I said, roughly how long? They said, oh, 3, 4, possibly 5 minutes. Well, after a while, I thought that's internally, in my internal clock, when we've gone more than 4 or 5 minutes, turned out to be 8. And they rang me afterwards and said, oh, we were just so pleased with it that we just kept you on and just kept going, and we've rescheduled the afternoon slightly as a result, because it was just great. You were passionate, you were knowledgeable, and you've helped to encourage me, because this is what I'm like when I'm lecturing and talking and on tours, and it's kind of, everybody says, oh, I love the enthusiasm, but you sort of gave me permission to transmit that through the screen, and to know that it's 110% passion is minimum needed, really.
Yes.
So I just can let that go, take myself off the leash, as it were, and let it go, which is just fab. Makes it much
amazing.
Yeah, and that was
amazing.
so much fun. Sorry to interrupt you. I really enjoyed it. It was great fun to do.
Yeah. That's it, you see. Once at first people can be a little bit scared, and then they suddenly get this sort of adrenaline rush from it, and then they want to do more and more, and then they actually miss it when they're not doing it. So it is I mean, it is fascinating, because really it's the good thing about radio is if you think, oh, I'm just talking to one person when you're doing it, but really you've got hundreds of thousands of people listening.
Yes.
And it's not scary, because obviously if you had hundreds of thousands of people in front of you, it might be a bit more revealing.
I mean, I've spoken
just
to
doing it on the radio is actually
but I always think of Terry Wogan, who said, I'm speaking to dear listener.
Exactly.
Yeah, and me, I'm talking to the interviewer. And the fact that there might be however many people listening in as well is the bonus.
Exactly. So in that regard, radio is good.
Yeah.
So what else have you learnt on the program that you, as a non-PR expert, non-TV journalist, what have you learned you've thought, oh God, that's interesting?
Yeah, I mean, I just to say, I spent years at the BBC, and I watched people, and I used to think they're good. Why are they good? Why are they not good? Why is it embarrassing to be named with them? Why is it great to be named with them? But I didn't know how to do it myself, and I didn't know how to approach people. I didn't know the contacts. The business of the PR is what I have no knowledge of, and just didn't know how to open the doors at all. And now I need to know how to grow, basically, and stretch out. It was local radio. I'd like to get more onto the national. I'd like to do that TV. And that I'm still partway through the course, as you say. It's still early days, and just building on the foundation that you've given me so far. and looking forward to doing the modules that I haven't done yet. I look down and go, oh, I can't wait to get to that bit and that bit. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've advised Gillian, haven't I, that we should be looking at the States for you as well. Obviously,
Yeah.
Italy, due to the Roman connections. There's no reason why you just need to be UK. You
No,
could
the States
certainly
is
go
a
abroad as
market.
well. And that's the good thing. It's a formula, it's a method that I teach that really is worldwide, so you can use it anywhere,
Yeah.
right? So, would you recommend the course to anybody else?
Yeah, sure. I mean, everybody, I know that you've got other people on the course as well, and we've all come from different strands, different backgrounds, different areas of expertise. And it's a good range of people, isn't it? It's a wonderful range, all sorts of types of professions, and it applies to all of them. It's not just, I'm probably one of the people on the edge, really. Archaeology is a bit of an elite kind of thing. It's not something that's in the news all the time, and yet I'm managing to find my way in, despite the fact that it's not, the hi-fi. It's not the stuff that's on the news every day, which makes it a bit of a challenge. But you've helped me to know how to sidestep that, really. Yeah.
Indeed, yeah, the way around it.
Mm,
That's what I teach people.
mm.
Okay, well, nice to talk to you, Gillian. And I'll see you on one of our coaching calls.
Definitely, very soon. Okay, it's great working with you, Kerry. Thank you.
Great. And you, thanks.
Cheers.